Hi. Before the episode starts, I just want to let you know that this episode of the podcast has mentions, and we also discuss sexual assault. If you find this topic triggering or in any way uncomfortable, then by all means skip this episode. We don't talk about it until the 28 minutes 30 second mark, until 32 minutes and 43 seconds, but it does come up again towards the last 5 minutes. So if you don't want to hear it, of course, skip this episode or only listen to the first 28 minutes and 30 seconds and then turn the podcast off. That being said, please enjoy the episode.
The most recent thing.
The most recent thing that I sent you on Instagram from this morning.
Oh, wait, yeah, sorry. Yeah.
You didn't respond to it.
I want you to help me about Kenergy. How do we find our Kenergy?
It's there the whole time. You got it so strong, I can feel it right now. Look no further. You are Kenuff.
Okay, we're done. Oh, okay, but
It's like Wi-Fi. It's there. We don't know. Do you know how it's really there? I don't. I mean, could you explain Wi-Fi? You could.
Oh, you know what?
Okay, well then maybe you can help me get to the heart of Kenergy.
It's all around you.
Right. And it might be affecting the bees somehow. We're not sure.
How was your Kenergy today?
Fucking great. You see that you said that Margot Robbie sent him like a fully gift wrapped, like bright pink, like package every day when they were shooting, and it was always like beach attire or like a Barbie themed gift that she sent him, all like gift wrapped like Barbie.
That's so crazy. So Ghost Machine was written by Helen Raynor and directed by Colin T.
Are we recording?
Yes, we've been recording for the last minute and 15 seconds.
All right.
Do you want to do a welcome?
No, I don't.
All right, we've watched Torchwood, episode 3.
Yeah.
Ghost Machine. What are your general thoughts?
It's a weird one, isn't it?
It's so sad.
Yeah.
It's not weird. I don't think it's like so.
No, I don't mean weird as in like strange, but I mean to categorize it, I think it's a weird one.
We'll talk about it. To like pigeonhole it. It's like
yeah.
I have a lot of thoughts. I'm just like,
well,
we'll go through it.
Before we get to the thoughts, should probably put a content warning on this one.
Yes, because
it goes a little dark.
It does. Mainly a big sexual assault part of it.
It's kind of, and the thing is, it's kind of a main plot point. Like there's no getting around it, unfortunately. Yep. So this one probably won't be that good.
Yeah. Well, hang on. I don't want to.
No, that's true.
I don't want to put my own skills down.
This one will probably be all right, but don't make yourself feel like shit just to listen to it. You know?
Yeah, but we start off with action. I didn't expect like an action scene to like a chase. Cool.
I like that Torchwood does this like quite a bit. You know, it's like when you see an action movie and there's like an agent on a mission at the start of the movie when the credits are coming in.
I am already sick of hearing that. Outside the police, beyond the space. I'm sick of hearing that already. And then I saw a thing on the Scripts website that has a season 2 version of it, and I was like, no, there's not. There's not a season 2 version of it where it changes slightly.
The 21st century is when everything changes, and you got to be ready.
Okay. That line is said again in this episode.
Yeah,
where Jack's like, "It's 21st century, so everything changes," and I'm just always like, "Stop saying that."
It feels like if anyone ever tried to ask him a question about it, he just got to be like, everything changes.
It's 20. Yeah.
Like, what is it? So far, we're 3 episodes in, not much has changed.
That's true.
I've got to be honest.
Well, episode 1 is called Everything Changes, so I guess it's fine, right?
What a false, misleading premise.
The music in this chase was great. At least I thought it was. What do I know?
What I do like in this chase scene is that, like, because Gwen can run.
Oh, she can sprint.
She can run. And there is a part where Tosh goes, because Tosh is, like monitoring them from the hub. Tosh goes,
she's the guy in the chair. Does she?
Yeah, she is like kind of quiet. She's like, go Gwen.
I didn't pick up on that. It was cool to see her doing a thing.
Yeah.
Ianto, again, I'm sure he just does the catering. That's my headcanon is Ianto is just the catering guy.
Do you know what I remember in a lot of Torchwood fan fiction? He is the guy who's like, I'm just going to get coffees. Like that was always his thing. And like it's his thing in the show, but that was like a proper recurring thing is like Ianto getting the coffees.
Fine, I guess. Ghost Machine. It's a lowish rating on IMDb, to be fair.
What is it?
Like a 7.4, which
okay.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. I'm not going to go through the main cast because who cares?
Same as every week.
Gareth Thomas is Ed Morgan, the old version of Ed Morgan. I guess. Bernie is Ben McKay. Young Ed Morgan is Christopher Elson. Tom Flanagan is John Normington. He is like the old version of it, I guess. Christopher Green is young Tom Flanagan. And who is the other one? Lizzie
The
Lewis.
girl, Lizzie.
Emily Evans is Lizzie Lewis. Excellent. At first I wrote the note alien court because I was like, there's no way Torchwood is going to be like, this court is alien of all things.
Yeah.
But then I also couldn't put it past it. I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if Torchwood was like, this court is an alien court. Maybe the Doctor's is, the Looker court.
Do you think?
Maybe that's an alien. I mean, it is an alien court. It's his.
It was on the TARDIS.
You trying to be quiet about that?
I wasn't trying to. I was just trying to do it one-handed
have a
so I
nice
can
drink.
maintain how chill that I look right now.
Yeah. I also want to say, if I sound a bit slurry in like the way that my speech comes across, not as in bigotry, like, I've got like just a really horrible sore mouth and I hate everything, but I'm working through pain.
That's what happens when you eat bottle caps, which I've tried to tell you so many times. But
Bottle caps. How long have you had that one in the brain? Because that doesn't seem
just
fresh.
thought of it right there.
Did you?
Yeah, on the spot.
You're so proud of yourself, aren't you?
Yeah. I was going to be like eating pennies, but then I'm like, they're not sharp. So I said bottle caps
I want
instead.
improv lessons so bad. Just because I'm stupid, I guess. Then Gooper. She goops it up, right?
Gooper?
She goopers the whole thing. They take this thing out the pocket. It's the ghost machine.
Yeah.
And she just immediately is like, I'm going to play with it, obviously.
Yeah, by the way.
It's like finding a Game Boy with Pokemon Emerald in it and being like, well, obviously I'm going to switch it on and look at the team.
This is the thing that, like, you know, you've been probably not risking your life, but like, trying real hard to get a hold of because you're like, oh no, what does this do? And then as soon as she gets her hands on it, she's like, actually, I'm going to find out right now.
Did you see how sweaty she was? She was glistening, right? I don't know if I can find it.
I can see, yeah.
Like, there's one specific shot where she's just
been running.
She's just, but so is everyone else, but she is like just moist.
She's
like
been
just
sprinting harder than anyone has ever sprant in their entire life.
Sprant? Look at how wet she is. That's not, like, look at that.
That's why they call her Gooper.
Oh, no. Hate that. That isn't what
Gwen does a great job of looking bedraggled, basically, this entire episode.
Yeah.
Like, she looks like shit.
I'm always expecting her to blow hair out of her own face, be like, like, just really panicked and horrible about it. She could have, do you know if the thing was closing, she'd Indiana Jones it?
Oh, yeah.
If it hit her while she was halfway through it, she'd be like, out the
Just
other end.
slide out.
Yeah. When they go back to the hub, by the way,
Yeah.
I have a note about this. Look at how formal everyone is. Look at Gwen here.
Yeah, she's in like jeans and a t-shirt.
Right? But then also look at Owen, who is also just like chilling in a jumper. Everyone else is dressed all formal attire and they're just like, I'm going
how
out
old?
tonight.
Okay, question. How old do you think all of these people are? Because I'm like, Jack obviously doesn't count. He's like hundreds of years old, right?
Aged. Yeah.
Tosh.
I could see Tosh being in her 30s, but the others seem like they are. I feel like Owen could be early to mid 20s, and I feel like
Same with Gwen. I think.
I was thinking Gwen is more mid to late 20s, but I think that's just because she has like this experienced sort of demeanor about her.
For a woman who is whatever the age she is, she's got an awful lot of graphic tees.
By the way, if you ever wore blue jeans, this is exactly what I would imagine you'd look like.
Yeah, it pretty much is, to be honest.
I'm like, blue jeans, that style shirt as well. I'm like, you probably find you in some weird eagle purple and grey shit, right?
Which is funny because I remember watching the show when I was a kid and thinking Gwen was the coolest person in the world.
Which is like insane because I know I'm comparing it to you, but nothing alike.
No.
Biggest virgin I know.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought Gwen was the coolest person in the world and I wanted to be her so bad when I was like 7.
And how did that go for you?
Well, I own a large, impressive collection of graphic tees. So, you know what? When
is
you
it that bull one? Is it because you just love that bull one?
I love that
it?
bullshit.
And my note actually, by the way, says she's dressed like Katie. Just so you can, just making sure that you see that. Owen speaks domestic when they go to the house and and they're on about, is it Strictly?
Yeah.
And he's like, who won?
Yeah.
Like really on the slides, like, who won?
Like, tell me actually, like, I don't care, but tell me actually.
And I want to see the exact thing he says when they go there.
Is it like something about her legs? Legs up to her armpits or something?
Oh, what is it? They get inside.
Oh my God, this drink tastes like shit. Good job I bought 2 of them.
What is it?
I don't want to say it.
You don't want to say the brand?
No.
Why? Because we're not sponsored and it's horrible? Or is it because you're ashamed? Because normally you're an avid Monster drinker.
I'm a Monster drinker, but
I'm a Monster drinker.
But there was 2 rock stars for £2 in the shop. So I got the 2 rock stars, and this is
looks like liquid Viagra.
It's blueberry pomegranate acai.
What?
ACAI. That's how it was pronounced, right? I don't know. But there used to be one that I used to get in school, and it tasted like Percy Pigs, for lack of a better description. And it was like in a blue can, and it was like a pink drink.
There was the only Monster I've ever enjoyed was, I think it was black and purple.
No, this is okay, actually.
The punch one. Hang on, so you're coming back around to it now?
Yeah. Pipeline Punch.
I don't know what it was called.
It's in a pink can. It's got like the pink M on
No, it was a black can but with a pink M, and it said punch in like thick letters on the bottom.
Oh no, I'm exclusively a white Monster drinker.
But yeah, I know. But right now, like even smelling Monster gives me a tummy ache. So I'm like,
do you remember when our friend that time at uni came in? And she was all excited, and she was like, "I had my first Monster," and we were all like, "Really?"
Is this one of the older ones?
Yeah.
And she was bouncing as well.
Oh, she was like,
I would think
uncontrollable.
That by you reach that sort of age, that sugar rush is not really a thing. You know, you get a tummy ache and you fall asleep, and that's it. But no, she was off the. We had to remember the time she had 2 drinks and was like completely pissed.
Yeah.
Anyway. I'm trying to find this.
Side note.
Yeah, Owen while he's there, he's like, "Who won?" And she goes, "That newsreader." And then Owen goes, "Ooh, she's got legs up to her armpits, hasn't she?" This is one of the episodes. Okay, this is a great Owen episode. I know you said to me before I watched it, hey, this is an Owen episode, and I was kind of excited for that.
There is,
because he's good in it too.
There's another moment as well that it's another. If you missed the Go Gwen bit, you might have missed it.
Probably,
but we'll point out when we get text. I made a note about it that I'm just like, Owen's just a normal guy, which is my favorite part about Torchwood. That every single one of these people is just a normal person.
This also has that thing, when they do chase scenes later and they're just running around the streets, and I'm like, yep, that's the UK and Wales, and that's just how everything looks. It's shitty and spray painted, and even when they're garden hopping, I'm like, oh, they are gardens. They truly are
I've
gardens.
been in every one of those gardens.
That little girl with the tiny paddling pool, I'm like, God, I remember being that age and being like that. It fits in the garden, and that is the only thing that fits in there.
Yeah.
And then you peel the paddling pool off 14 days later after it's just been sat there, and the grass underneath it is just this dead yellow ring. Quintessential, though, isn't it? You have to do it.
It's a what you call it?
Lift experience.
Character building. It's character building.
Do you know what I love about Tom? Because, by the way, Gwen sees a ghost.
Yeah, Gwen messes with the machine, sees a ghost.
And then
is like, something weird happened.
Yeah, this evacuee.
Figure it out.
And she catches the name on the tag, and then they go, "Oh, who is this?" And they go, "Beep, boop, bop, boop, beep." And then they go, "It's Tom." And they go, "Oh, all right, yeah, I know him."
Yeah, because Owen's like, he's in the phone book.
Yeah, the yellow pages.
Yeah, and then Gwen's like, "I am because she says that she essentially saw a ghost, right? And it kind of feels like, not that everyone else doesn't believe her, but they're kind of like,
ghost.
Everyone's like, you are one person who has seen this thing, and it's implausible, right?
All you did was push a button and stand still.
Yeah, right. How can we be sure? So Gwen then goes to his house to question him, just so she can be right.
You know what I love about the old dude, John Normington, who plays Tom Flanagan? That unprompted, he's just like, "I was evacuated, and I'm like, that's the most old man thing there is to just launch into a story.
They just launch into a story, and it's one of those things where it's kind of like, I do want to hear this story, but why are you talking about it?
You got to do one of the yeah. Or was it?
But that in his mind he's getting to a point.
Oh yeah, and he's just reliving everything.
Oh my God, that's how I tell stories. I tell stories like a granddad.
Yeah, you do. Are you dressed like one today?
No, I'm not.
No, you're not.
I'm not sure.
I mean, that coat is the jacket.
The jacket. Thing. Yeah, I got it from a vintage sale.
No shit.
All right.
Someone was probably buried in it. Does it smell like curtains and cigarette ash? The way you looked at me said everything that I needed to know about that.
Well, it will now. She makes this man relive the most terrifying moment of his childhood so she can be right, which, That's
what I'm looking for in a woman, someone who's damaging.
But because that's the thing about...
I don't look for someone damaged, I look for someone damaging. I want to be the victim.
I don't want to fix him, I want him to make me worse.
I want him to make me need a fixing.
Because the thing about the machine is that you don't just just see the thing, like you experience.
Yeah, it's
the
an
thing.
empathy thing.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, you feel all the emotions. So Gwen's like, I felt how scared he was. Now I have to go and make him relive that.
Then they leave and Owen's like, I got stuck with Mortimer.
And it's the start of the Peter Parker-ification of Gwen Cooper.
The phone call.
The whole like, oh no, will she, answer the call for her responsibilities of Torchwood, or is she going to go home and be a loving girlfriend? And the answer is kind of neither.
I hate this. Not in like a, this is bad for the show. In like a, this hits me a little too close and I hate this.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Like when I was messaging you about it and I was like, some of this episode I don't like.
Yeah.
Like this is this is the closest I've been to any of these rewatches from like Rose up to now. This is the closest I've been to like breaking into tears. But then again, the emotional impact of this isn't the same as Doctor Who for me.
No.
Because obviously I've seen Doctor Who over and over and over again. This is like brand new, fresh, which means it's cutting. It has a sharper blade than Doctor Who ever will. And I'm like, I hate this actually. But this phone call, Gwen, you're a dickhead.
Yeah,
Can we just say it right? Gwen is at
Gwen
fault.
sucks. Gwen
Okay,
sucks.
Gwen sucks. I just want to
Gwen
make sure
sucks.
that I'm
No.
not being. Imagine if you were like, what? No, it's the reason. I'm like, oh God.
No, it's one of those things. Because essentially, if you haven't seen Torchwood, her boyfriend is phoning her to just ask about like domestic, regular things, and
he's just like.
Well, he's asking about like doing the washing, right?
Yeah, he's just like, do you have any whites that need doing? And Gwen's like, I don't know, just leave it, I'll sort it out. And he's like, oh no, it's no trouble, just remind me which drawer did the tablets go in again? And she was like, just leave it. And he's like, okay, that's fine. Are you in or out tonight? And she's like, I don't know. And he's like, oh, you don't know again? And she apologizes. And he says, all I'm asking is like, are you in or are you out?
Yeah,
just so I know,
reasonable thing.
Am I
to
making
say.
food for two? Are we watching? So like, that sort of relationshipy thing. And Gwen's like, I don't know. And Reese says, Gwen, I can live with like all the secret stuff, but you can't even tell me if you're coming home. And Gwen says, well, nagging isn't helping. Excuse me.
Just asking a question, dude.
He's doing your washing because you're never home. Oh, never. Do you know what? Like I say, just hits a little bit too close to home for me.
How do you feel about Reese now anyway? I know these past 2 weeks you couldn't quite tell, but where do we stand on him now?
Right now, okay, because I still feel like there's going to be a term where he is awful, but I feel like they're going to get into an argument that's really heated because I feel like I've seen a clip of it on Twitter like a year ago.
Yeah.
And that was when I was telling you, I was like, I didn't know they could say fucking Torchwood. And you're like, yeah. And I was like, ooh. So right now, I still think they're going to take a turn to have an argument. I think it's going to be one of those situations that you do see in a relationship that's like, this is a non-issue. This is a non-issue. It's not. This is a non-issue. This is a non-issue. And at some point, it just
boils over,
explodes, right? And I'm going to be like, well, both of you are just as bad as each other now for letting it go this long. But I right now, I think it's mostly because I've been in a similar situation to Reese where I'm like, hey, what time is this thing happening? And they were like, oh, I don't know. And it got to a point where they were like, I'm not going to come home actually for days. And I was like, oh, I just wanted to know if I was making food for two. Yeah.
I think that this episode does a lot for Reese.
This makes him very like, oh, you sweet, sweet thing.
I think you come out of this episode being like,
feel, because I still feel sorry for him even after the fact, because I know they're obviously going to go, shaggy uppy. But when you're not happy with the shaggy uppy.
Oh, yeah, sorry, didn't like it.
Oh, I'll try harder.
Do you want to tang faster?
No, not right now. My tongue's in pieces.
Oh, sorry. I didn't think about that when I bought them.
Oh, were you like, I'll get some sweeties to share?
Yeah, that makes me seem like an asshole.
I don't care about
I'm really sorry.
I don't care about it. Don't worry about it.
I want one, though. I'm still going to.
Okay. Why are you running this by me? Also, not sponsored by Haribo.
Winks into the microphone.
How the fuck? Like really heavy eyes.
It's doing it really loud.
Yeah. Reese right now, I feel sorry for even after they do a shagging. And that's mainly because this is not a solved issue.
Yeah. It seems like Gwen Cooper has one way of fixing her problems, and it's by having sex out of them. Like she sexes her way out of all of her own problems.
I said this last week. Didn't I? I was like, hey, don't use shagging to patch up the issues in the relationship. That's twice in 2 weeks, PC gooper, that you have used a pussy as a patch, and I don't like that for you. What are you?
Used pussy as a patch. Me when I'm in like Pharmacy Town in Gridlock and I'm like, I'll take pussy, please.
And then the people behind the kiosks are literally serving cunt.
Hey!
You need a pussy patch for that blister. But it's puss with just one S.
It's horrible, isn't it?
I don't like the spelling of puss when it's like that, you know. You
What, one S?
Yeah.
You know what I hate?
Even looking at the word,
I always think it's in books, right? When people write like pustule as like a...
Pustule?
Yeah, it's like a... essentially, I guess like a pus-filled wound that's like a... But they'll be like a pustule. I hate it.
Yeah, that's rotten.
Anyway, so Torchwood.
Reese, yeah.
Because after this is when... Is this when they do like the Mean Girls type scene?
Let's just skip a little bit.
They're going looking for this dude, Bernie.
Yeah.
Who had the machine.
Yeah, because I looked at this. You see this little thing here?
Oh, yeah. Gwen's doing another police board. So.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, do they go to the effort of printing the Torchwood T on everything they print out? Do you know, like a watermark? But I'm like, look, brand recognition. Shitty little door frame.
But brand recognition. Yanto has time.
Well, I mean, he's just bringing coffee in this one.
Because Yanto does all of this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Surely. So, also, I think this is the first time you properly get like a look in Jack's office.
This?
Yeah. Like a good look in it, I mean.
Oh, yeah.
Which doesn't mean anything. It's just cool.
Yanto still hasn't done anything. Just in general in the show. I really want him to.
This is nice. The team eating again, by the way.
Oh, yeah. They're all just... Was he eating a donut?
Yeah, they've got like pastries or something.
Oh, and Owen buys pasties later.
4 pasties for £1.
Coupland.
Pasty rolls from Greg's.
What?
4 for £1, right?
Yeah, but these are pasties, so I'm like Coupland, because Coupland pasties are tiny.
There you go. See how they're in unmarked white bags.
Oh, wait, did you... This, I love that bit, by the way.
This whole, the Mean Girls bit where it's like,
on him if he was
Regina
on fire.
George did this, Regina George did this. My favourite one is that kid, I think it was just on screen a second ago.
The kid who smoked all my fags.
Yeah, he said he'd give me an iPad and he never, and he smoked all my fags. Champion. I'll tell you what's great before this though.
Cheers,
it's another
Benny.
little moment. Because the way that the team personality works, right, is that you've got Jack is the leader. Owen and Gwen are kind of like a little more street smart.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Tosh, however, it seems like she's, she just loves the science.
Yeah, she enjoys being in the hub.
She likes investigating and being behind her computers. And when they go to Bernie's house and his mum's there, and she's like, "Hello, yes, me and my friend would like to speak to your son or whatever." And the mum's like, "Mate, fuck off. Like, he's an absolute little arsehole." And Gwen is stood behind, and Gwen just starts laughing.
Does she?
Yeah, take it back like a little bit. It's a funny little scene.
Is it? Is it before the montage?
It's right at the start of the montage when they're talking to the mum, and like as soon as like she starts going off, Gwen starts laughing.
I'm watching. Wait, oh. She's like, you just got told off.
Funny.
It's us at the pub there. That's how we look.
There's the iPad.
You know what line I really love?
What?
Makes NASA look like Toys R Us.
Yeah.
Spot on. Love that.
Yeah, the ghost machine. Horrible little thing. Like, when someone says to you, if you can have anything from the Doctor Who universe, what do you want? No one's saying the ghost machine.
Yeah, I don't want to touch that.
'Cause they never...
Especially the other one.
The other part.
This ghost machine is weird because Gwen somehow manages to look at her relationship with it just cause.
Yeah, because they get it and it's like half of it, right? And this is the half that allows you to go back and see the other stuff. But what does the other one let you see the future? The other half, I guess? And all right.
It'll let you see a bit of the future. So this is why, because when I saw it, I was like, wait, the ghosts that you've seen so far,
they're ghosts.
Are just cause.
Inverted quotes.
You're like this dude who was evacuated and, the woman in the alley who is like seemingly have no link, really.
It seems the way that I have interpreted this, especially, which I think is just hammered home by like Gwen.
Using it
at home.
It's like a strong emotion.
It's places where strong emotions like happen because when she uses it at home, I think it's like 3 little moments of their relationship, 2 or 3 little moments of their relationship that she like relives.
Yeah, because there's I'm gonna put you in handcuffs, and he's like, oh yeah, don't threaten me with a good time, basically.
And then Mum's 60th.
Oh yeah, where she tries to staple his cock.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
she probably was like,
that other one. that's like her first day as a policewoman. So I assume that those were 2 days of like intense emotion, and that's why it pulls that up, because that explains why Bernie...
And the other one, the intense fear of having your cock stapled.
And that's why Owen and Bernie, presumably when they're in the same place, see the same thing.
Yeah.
So it must be a location thing as opposed to like a personal thing, right?
Bernie is like, I don't know, like way more emotional of a dude than I thought he was going to be when he shows up later.
Well,
because no one's got a nice thing to say about him. So I'm like, oh, this dude must be like a really crass, horrible guy. And then then he shows up and he's like, I've got asthma, and I'm like, oh, cool, same, bro.
I have this note later, but I'll bring it up now because we're talking about it. Bernie Harris, I believe is his name.
Yes,
he is one of the most like not relatable, I guess, but like real characters in all of Doctor Who. Because I know 4 guys like that. Like, I swear to God. Like, I know so many people who are like Bernie, where they always kind of seem to be in trouble or like doing something. But it's nothing actually seriously bad. It's just like shitty little dickhead things, you know, like selling fags and like, you know, they say that he has a criminal record for theft and it was a bottle of vodka and 3 pot noodles.
Like, it's just Asbo behaviour.
Yeah, it's just stuff that gets you in trouble, but stuff that's like not really bad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know, you know, I've known in my life so many people like Bernie Harris. He is the most real character in all of Doctor Who.
Asbo's still a thing. Still getting Asbo.
I know that they have.
Maybe it's because I'm an adult now, so it doesn't fucking matter. But like,
but I know they have the Asbo things in shops because where I am from, they used to have them up there all the time in one of the shops.
Like a wanted for, but it's you.
Yeah, there was in
looking
the boys
like
in town. There was
Inc.
always like 4 of them, and it was like Asbos for these people. But that was the only time I ever saw like an Asbo.
Do you remember a few weeks ago when I was like, there are 2 very... we were talking about Torchwood on the podcast, and I was like, hey, there is 2 very weird ways that I could have gone with Owen, and one of them is the dickhead side, and one of them is this.
Yeah.
This is the kid I would have ended up like, is Bernie.
Oh.
If I'd have continued like the way I was going.
I can see that.
You can see me being a Bernie.
Yeah.
Can
Because
you?
the thing is, I can't see you doing anything actually horrible or bad on account of like just being a
I'm like,
good
sorry for
person with
pinching that
morals
pack
and
of Wrigley's extra. I just got super uncomfortable with my own mouth taste. Do you ever get that out of nowhere?
Stealing Igloo.
Do you ever get that out of nowhere? You're like,
horrible mouth taste.
Yeah.
You know what? I always get it when I'm about to go to bed. Like as soon like I'll head down on the pillow and then I'll be like, something's not right here. And then I'm like, do I get out of bed and get a drink? I don't know.
So Owen gives everyone a pasty. Then Jack has a little moment here.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
Where he's like, if you want adventure, I will give you adventure, stop complaining. And then he's about to, and they all start complaining.
Yeah, because Jack's like, you couldn't find a 19-year-old.
And they're all like, he's harder than it looks, okay, Jack.
He's really fast.
To be fair, you probably would have caught him a lot easier if the woman who monitors the CCTV was monitoring the CCTV and wasn't out there with you.
Yeah. Why does it take all 4 members of the Torchwood team? Because, like, you know, Yanto can't leave, whatever. He has to be there for, like... just in case. But like you've got all 4 members of the team to go find one 19-year-old. If it took all 4 members, you can't complain that all 4 members couldn't find him.
I'm like, okay, you got closer to catching him at the beginning when Tosh was back at HQ and you 3 were after him.
Well, in a way, you did catch him.
Why would you backtrack on that strategy? That was working well.
Tosh needed to get told off by that woman. She needed to.
Tosh was having one of them. I just need to get out of the house, don't I? Just need to get out of the house for a bit. Just need some fresh air, you know.
Because all right, we're gonna talk about it.
The
plan, because the plan is to go back to the station and recreate Gwen's original. But
trip. Owen has the device.
Yeah,
I hated this scene.
It seems like it activates more so than
he doesn't press a button.
Yeah, like it seems like so because later when Gwen uses it again, like not in the house, but when she uses it outside the flat, it seems like it just activates. I don't think she pushes
that's the thing.
Right?
I thought she pushed a button at the beginning, right? She did do that. Imagine making that up.
She did push a button at the beginning, but then it's weird because it seems like the device starts like lighting up and starts doing something.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, who knows? But
anyway,
either way, it works. If it works, it works, right?
Yeah.
Ghost machine.
So Owen goes, back, I guess, this time.
Well, yeah, but just like completely unaware of it happening, and he's just like, oh shit, I'm here.
Yeah.
This was I gotta stop watching this show with the garage door open with like stupidly loud speakers.
It's another one.
Yeah.
You were like, oh no.
And I didn't shut it, and it was awful. I hate this scene. I hate everything about it.
This is difficult to watch.
It's one of those things where whenever this is represented, if it is ever like at all sort of sugarcoated, even like on screen in any way, I'm like, that's a bit sour.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna show it as a horrible thing, it has to be a horrible thing.
Yeah.
And so like
This does that.
It's a horrible thing to watch, and Owen has like a super, super raw reaction to it.
I think that is the thing that makes it kind of like even more like, oh God. Because it's like, well,
when he tells them to wait, right, earlier on, when they're all walking away and he's holding the thing.
Yeah.
And he says wait, and I was like, that wasn't a very good like delivery of that line, I guess. But then when we cut back to him after this, his performance is insanely good. Unlike Gwen's later on, but we will get to...
Oh yeah, we'll talk about that.
That was horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's when we see Lizzie, and it's 1960s, right?
19...
It can't be the 30s.
I want to say 50s.
Yeah, 50s.
No, they say she died in 1963, so...
Oh, yeah.
It's Doctor Who. It was going to happen in 1963, right?
Everything has to happen in 1963. Yep.
There is 1 year. But, yeah, she's attacked by Ed.
Yeah, and I think what makes this worse is you don't find out until after the fact that she died that night.
Yeah.
As well. You just sort of see the crime bit happening, and obviously TV, they have to, they're not going to go all the way with that. You've got to cut away.
When you first see her, she runs under the bridge, and then she's like, oh, the girls told me not to go with you and all this sort of thing.
Oh, I heard his voice and I was like, oh, no. Because I knew, you see a girl, it's raining, it's nighttime, it's an alleyway, it's the 60s or whatever. And I'm like, oh, this spells trouble. I hate this.
Yeah.
And then I hear his voice and I'm like, oh, they're not going to, are they? And
yeah. Because I think it's a scene that misleads you in a little way where you see her and it seems like the bad thing's already happened because she's already upset. But then it's like, no, now the bad thing's going to happen. And I'm like, oh, cool.
It's one of those things where I want it to cut away, but I know it's not going to.
Yeah.
I'm watching it and I'm like, please don't make me. And then I think what makes it worse is there's a bit where he is like kissing her. And clearly she is not like...
she's like, well, she pushes him away.
Yeah. And like in the little chin neck space between them, you can just see Owen. And he is like paralytic. Cannot move. Horrible. And then when we cut back to him after this scene, because, I mean, it's like a little plot convenience. Luckily, there is a name in every ghost encounter.
Yeah.
Right? There is a name said.
Yeah. They will full name everyone.
But when we get back to Owen, that performance when he's just stood there is there's something. It's it's a higher caliber because HBO in like season 4 of Barry that does a very similar thing where someone has someone killed that they love, and then it cuts to them they are sitting outside and they hear the gunshot and they hear the person that get shot, and it's like silent crying. But like full face scrunch silence. So not like silent as in like a like there's nowhere to breathe like that. And I hate it. I don't like it. But I think that this pushes Owen's character leagues because we see him being like a sleeper around it, and I don't know if that's going to go away. I feel like that is just a staple of him.
Well, I think,
but this is definitely going to change an attitude, right?
This takes him from being like sleazy, kind of like out for himself guy,
to understanding a lot of like how women feel and scary nighttime things. It's awful. Then I'm just trying to find it here.
Well, then they go back to the hub, right? Because Owen...
I'm sure they go back, but Owen goes to find the dude, right?
Well, no, because they go at first and then...
Oh, no, yeah, Owen is Jack's he's looking for him.
Yeah, because Jack's like, what are you going to do? It's a cold case. And I'm like, okay, Mr. Outside the government, be on the police.
Yeah, I thought that. I was like, dude, you literally just... Your job is to break shit open and go, I don't care.
Yeah. Because this episode is interesting in a way that the only alien part of it is the ghost machine. Like, for the most part, this is solving a cold case. Yeah.
So this is where they do go back to the hub. Because Owen, I think it's super important. I mean, this episode, by the way, written by a woman.
Yeah.
It's really good that Owen is the one that goes through it.
Yeah.
Because when you have a guy going, I felt her fear.
Yeah.
Like, palpable. And then they go back to the hub and Owen finds out that he killed her and is hellbent on finding this guy. No matter how old he is, whether he's alive or dead, he knows that...
he's like, something bad has happened and I know about it and I'll do something about it.
He knows that Lizzie's dead. We learn her mother is dead too. And Owen is like, I'm going to fucking kill this guy. I'm going to rip his fucking head off. Whew.
And then he
finds him.
And that scene when it's not even an interrogation, he's Owen goes to this guy's house.
It's an all-out, I know what you did.
Yeah.
The whole thing is he's like, I know what you did. And I know you thought you weren't going to get away with it. Hi.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Him being like, she told her mother she'd be home by 9.
I hate, that's fucking horrible.
And he is just going back over all of the things that were said.
Yeah, like word for word.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And you get the like a voiceover as well when it happens.
Yeah. And you can see this guy just sat there sweating because it's like, oh, you're caught. Time is up, man. You've been called out.
Yep. Because okay. So Owen goes home and looks even further on his own, right? You see all the papers and stuff.
He does later, but because he speaks to this dude, and then isn't that because he goes out the house and he sees Bernie, sees the kid just sat in a park, and then that's when he chases him through all the gardens. Yes. Yeah.
I mean, again, convenient that he gets chucked out and Bernie is just there.
Just about.
He's like, oh shit.
Well, then isn't after that doesn't he grab him and they go for a drink or something, and then that's when he has the machine.
Well, this Ed and Owen scene is a little bit later on. We've skipped a bit.
Oh, okay.
Which is fine. It's just that it follows on from that. And it's the scene that we basically have missed is the Gwen scene when she goes home and uses the ghost machine.
Yeah.
But the firing range scene, didn't like it.
See, this is
the training montage. Great.
Cool.
Jack touching her up and
the part about this that I don't
swaying of it.
Oh, one of my notes here just says, where is it? When they said ghost machine, I didn't realize they meant the 1990 Patrick Swayze classic. But yeah, that's one of the parts that I think makes this feel a lot weirder is just that you cut from Owen having the most traumatizing day of his life.
Yeah, because this is before he meets Ed in person, but you cut from the scene before that is Owen being we need to, since when did we care about Court, and Jack saying tomorrow we'll look for Bernie Harris and we find out what he knows about the ghost machine, and then it cuts to this scene.
So is that the Gwen one? Yeah, because that's the weirdest part of all of this for me is just that this is the B plot that you are juxtaposing with this horrible, horrible main story.
There is I mean, even in the touching of the Torchwood even the headphones, the Torchwood logos on the earmuffs. Why? Well, he moves her hair, but there's one point where it's that's. You see where his hand was just there? That's very close. It's on the leg, but it's creeping, and John Barrowman, stop it. Yeah, this scene, I like the montage thing. I love that all the targets are weevils.
Yeah.
They're all just lurching, and I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah, you want to know why you want to know why Yanto can't be in episodes? This is what he's doing.
He's drawing out
He's drawing weevils on the targets. He's putting the Torchwood logo on the headphones.
I like the idea that he doesn't print them out. He actually hand draws every one.
He's got a little paintbrush. You know, the bit in Toy Story 2? Where the guy's touching up Woody or whatever, and he's got all of the little
all the lenses and stuff.
Yeah, and the glasses and the magnifiers. That's just what Yanto does.
How was Toy Story 1?
Probably really good.
Have you only seen the second one?
No, I've seen the first one actually.
Okay.
I know that scene though, because who doesn't know that scene? Yeah, everyone knows and the music and all that shit with it. Yes, they have their little romance, which I hate. Thumbs down for you as well. Thumbs down, yeah, I don't like this.
Thumbs down for you. Awesome. At least we're on the same page with that one. And then Gwen goes home and Reese is out. When she goes home, this is when she has the ghosts of her own relationship.
Can't she just remember?
This bit I also hated.
Why did you hate this bit?
Oh, I'd have to get really real to do it. I don't mind. I don't care because I don't emotion in my real life, and this is basically anonymous, so who gives a shit? I'm I know one of our friends who apparently listens to this show because he put it on using pub speakers, and it was in the middle of Runaway Bride, and I was like, you must actually
listen
on a weekly basis or somewhere there, because that's one of our most recent ones, right?
Yeah, it's a weird one to start with as
of recording at least. Yeah, I hate this scene because it is the epitome of living in a dead relationship.
Yeah, that's true.
And you know,
if you need alien technology to help you regain your passion for your own boyfriend,
if you have been there and you're just sort of going, it's I don't know how to describe it other than being like it is just like Groundhog Day, and nothing is exciting. Like if someone goes to you like, "Ooh, where do you see yourself a year from now?" and the only constant is that person, but that doesn't make you happy though, and you're kind of like, "Oh, fucking horrible feeling." Do you know what's even a worse feeling than that?
What?
Doing nothing about it, like I did for a longer time than I should have.
Gotta get yourself a ghost machine.
Yeah, right. Gotta get myself a ghost machine. Reignite that spark. There never was one. That's not true. I almost knocked everything over. That's not true. But yeah, this scene was one of those that I'm like,
I would be curious about what it would show me though. Like if I was in my house, what it would pick as a moment of heavy emotion or whatever show me.
I know what mine would show me, at least in this house. I can't say it on the podcast. Do you want to know why?
Why?
It's fucking pathetic. As a dude who still to this day toxically does not allow myself to feel an emotion very often, talking about that is even worse. I'll tell you when we walk to the shop after this if you want.
If you want.
I don't care.
Okay.
I don't care about telling you because you're you, but like the internet, there is a line. The problem I have with this ghost machine section, like you just said, like I wonder what it would show me, but I genuinely can't pick out like moments from that it would show me. I'm like, okay, but I don't think there was ever a point when I was elated. If you don't feel lucky to have the person you're with in your life, leave them. That's my advice. Because that's an insane feeling to be like, oh yeah, I get to like be with that person. That's cool. Like that is cool. Imagine being like, I get to be with that person.
Man had shown me that time Luke tried to make a lasagna like 2 days after we moved in, and he had a bottle of red wine to do it. And when he was taking the cork off the bottle of red wine all over our back white kitchen wall.
Whose lasagna is better?
Well, considering one didn't end up staying in my kitchen, then I'm going to say that yours was.
Okay, but aside from that, whose lasagna?
Oh, yours. I'll say you mushrooms in it, man.
Insta win.
I'm a shroomy gal. What can I say?
Don't say that. Yeah, this scene is the one that really fucking got me. But like again, I'm like I've been there, so it's horrible. Yeah. It's not a nice thing. But there's not much in TV
that does that
like super resonates with me. So I'm like seeing this, and I was like, oh, and then
it's Doctor Who in it.
I didn't actually cry. Like you would get a message from me if I actually cried. Like make no, I wouldn't send you a video of it like you did to me. You sent me a video of you in gridlock just like, I'm crying. Because I see Katie sent a video and I assume it's a different thing.
Yeah, no. It's just me in tears.
Always, right?
Right, can we talk about Jack's leadership for a second here?
Yeah, sure. Let's go for it.
So they find out that Owen's been to see Ed.
Yes, because that's it.
And then Jack's like kind of mad and he's like, Owen, go home.
Well, they go to the pub first, right, before this?
Yeah, like they go to the pub because that's when Bernie's like, do you want the other half? Because before that, when he catches him, he's like, don't hurt me, please, I've got asthma.
Well, that's my note, right?
Don't hurt me, please, I've got asthma.
Well, no. Oh, sorry. We'll go, but can we just go back to the Gwen scene?
Yeah.
We didn't talk about how when Gwen comes out of the ghost division, Reese is actually there.
Yeah, he's come home.
And because I guess the couple that he's been with had an argument, and so he's come back to Gwen.
And that's what does he say when he comes in? Because again, it's something super reasonable where he's like, where he just says again, like, please just tell me what's going on.
Yeah, he says, look, I don't mind you working all the hours. I really don't. Just as long as you still want to come home at the end of it all. And she's like, I do. I'm here, and you're gorgeous. And Reese says, bet you haven't done hung the washing up. Gwen says, let's leave it till tomorrow, eh? And Reese says, aye. And then they fucking plow.
And then they just shag.
Here is the problem with me.
Okay.
I'd have still done the washing that night, you know.
Would you?
I proper would.
I wouldn't.
I proper would have been like, well, that needs doing.
No, I wouldn't.
There's going to be 2 loads tonight. Sorry. Oh, God. I thought of it. I said it. And then I hated myself for it.
Yeah, but it's good we went on that journey, though.
Really? I wish I got off early. Thanks, Daniel. I'm good. Sorry. Can I say that?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are many out there.
Yeah.
And they don't know me. Was you just nearly sick again?
No.
Okay,
I was
good.
just trying to... No, that has only happened 3 times since I've been here.
We're going to walk to the shop and the fresh air is going to hit you and you're going to be like...
Yeah, I don't know. Something about Jack after all of this just being like, hey, Owen, like, leave it alone, go home. And I'm like, this is Mr. Trauma. Like, why are you telling him to do this?
Yeah, there's a point where Owen... I don't know. I don't know. Do we get like an episode about like... Oh, you said we get an episode about how everyone joins the team, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So since we don't know anything about Owen's past, I'm like, I don't know whether this dude has been through tragic shit like before this, but if not, we're seeing his origin story. But be a little supportive of it.
Yeah,
right?
we find out. I mean, obviously, Gwen is like episode 1. We already know what her deal is, but like you do find out how everyone joined, and it is one of my favorite episodes of the show.
This episode goes even darker. I mean, they talk about like is it when Bernie's talking about like using the ghost machine that he sees a baby, like a dead baby getting set adrift?
He says that he was down by like some river or something, and then he used it then, and there was a woman with a bundle is what he says, and he's like, I just knew it was her like dead child. Yeah,
because of the feeling, the empathy and stuff. When they do the chase...
then he says that he went to go speak to her about it, and she gave him money to not tell anyone.
Yeah, but he says that she offered.
Yeah.
Not that it was blackmail, because he does blackmail Ed, right?
I was going to say Owen calls him out, right? And he's like, oh, you blackmailed her. And then he's like, no, she offered. And I'm like, even still, don't.
It's one of those things where I'm like, is that a lie though? Because later we found out that he was blackmailing with the information.
And also I'm like, just don't take the money either way, probably.
Yeah. This episode has a lot of dicey shit.
Yeah.
It's very dark.
Okay, wait, no, sorry. This is about the scene that I wanted you to see.
Okay.
So, because he's like, do you guys not want the other half? And then they're like, the other half. So they go back to his place, basically, and he tells them that him and I guess some of his pals found this guy with a lockup who had a bunch of just weird shit.
Yeah, because they go back to his flat, right?
Yeah. And then that's when like Jack and Tosh are like, it's like alien coins, stuff that's come through the driftwood, they say, right? That's like come through the rift. And at one point when they're in the flat, they're like, they're sort of Owen's looking around.
Is this where he just goes, Tosh, and he just holds up baked beans?
Picks up the value baked bean and just makes the face of like,
fucking beans.
Just like a tin of value baked beans.
I have a note that just says Tosh, and then shows her the beans.
Yeah.
Look at them beans, man.
Yeah. I'm like, that's funny. Also, Tosh's a Lego girl.
A Lego girl? Oh, she said she put together like Lego?
Yeah, it just snaps together like Lego. And I'm like,
wanna come to my house, bestie?
She's definitely got the bonsai tree,
Oh, well, I'll do somewhere else down there.
I know, I can just see it in her house.
Can I just say about a thing because the other half of this shows you the future. Not necessarily your future. The way that it goes about telling me this I was like, oh, they're going to show, it shows you how you die, I thought is what the whole thing was. Ghost machine, death. No, it just shows you like the next 20, 25 like hours, I guess, somewhere in that.
I mean,
range.
I guess it shows you the future, but I think, again, it's the same thing of like intense emotion.
Captain Jack's Gwen. No!
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Written that down. Why would you slow-mo it?
Right? But I don't think it's slow-mo. It must be ADR, just him going, no. Because you get like that weird effect when it's slow-mo, right? I mean, I don't remember actually. Maybe that effect was there.
Anyway, so because Gwen uses it, they snap the two of them together and they're going back to the hub, and then Gwen just activates it again.
What do you? Because I would consider this a plot twist when you have Gwen holding the knife, and you know it's not a two-parter, so you know that it's going to pan out at some point within the next 10 minutes.
Yeah,
Gwen's going to be bloody and holding a knife, because if we've learned anything from Doctor Who and time travel shows, it's avoiding the future solidifies the future. Right?
Yeah, right.
Trying to work around it doesn't change anything.
Well, because that's what Jack says, right? When Gwen's like, hey, Bernie said he knew how he's going to die, and he was like, that's a possible future.
Yeah. Even the second episode of Red Dwarf does it.
Yeah.
Like, you can't avoid the things that are going to happen. Bernie, we've been told Bernie's going to die, so we assume that Owen was going to kill Bernie.
Yeah.
Because, Gwen is like, Owen had the knife, whatever. And then the episode just gives you small bits of information. And then they all start investigating Bernie at the same time, and they talk about how paranoid he is and all this. And I'm like, oh, Bernie knows as well because he mentions that he knows about Lizzie.
Yeah.
And I was writing it, and I was like, oh, Bernie knows too. Oh, this is bad.
Because, well, like Owen says, right, when he went to go speak to him, he was like something about like, he's already told you, and they're like, oh, so Bernie's already gone, and like,
yeah, he says, I told you this before.
Probably tried to blackmail him or
I've
something.
already told you. Yeah.
Because that's another thing when Tosh at this point, who is staying on the CCTV, she's looking and she pulls up Ed's thing and it's like agoraphobic, severe depression, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, and like suicide attempts as well.
Yeah.
I think that this episode does a lot of good. I mean, it's generally very well written. Foreshadowing is done so fucking well. TV doesn't foreshadow like this very often.
Yeah.
Where the lines, when they mention it, like, oh, he said, I'd already told you. Like when they mention that, yeah, it was in the scene. You probably just didn't pick up on it because when you were watching it, you were just like, oh, this confrontation's insane. You're too busy thinking about how insane.
I think that another thing that you think is that when Owen's looking through police files, it says that like charges were dropped and like this guy was released. So him being like, I already told you. Yeah. You'd be like, oh, the police. Mm-hmm. You don't think about it.
And then we get, we get outside. The thing is, I've seen Bernie garden hop. This man is not a threat to you.
Well, that's what I was thinking the whole time. I'm like, just run away.
Like, dude, just walk back into your house and lock the door.
Because, like,
call the police.
This
There's
guy
a man outside with a knife.
He's a big dude. He's an older dude. He's a smoker.
Oh, yeah.
A 19-year-old cannot run him.
And I saw him on the CCTV. He was not walking. He was
like stumbling, yeah.
Like, but he has to die, so...
So let's talk about this ending real quick.
I wrote, Owen's going to kill Edwin. Then I wrote, Owen is saving him. And then my next note is, Eve, you can do better than that. And that's because of her acting when Jack's...
She's like, I couldn't stop
it. Like, that kills a lot of the episode for me.
Yeah.
Because these stakes are so high. Everything is building to this. And
when they cut to her in the next scene, or whatever, and she's like wrapped in a blanket, and I'm like, that's better. That's like...
Yeah, she's like actually crying, and they're like, he pushed himself into the knife. You didn't do a murder.
Yeah, because that's the case or whatever. That's what happens. Owen is going to kill him, and then he doesn't. He gives the knife to Gwen, and then Ed's like, I knew you'd save me or whatever, and just walks right into Gwen. Yeah, into the knife.
But I love that moment that we get with Owen.
When he tries to save him.
When he has the knife, and he's just like, I can fucking do it.
Yeah.
And I'm watching it, and I'm going, I don't know if Owen's the type to kill, but I don't know Owen well enough. But also... the emotions that he's feeling about this incident are not all his. That's part Lizzie as well at the time. Like that fear.
And if he did kill him, I think that's one of those things that we can justify.
Like even to like going back, if anyone ever that I knew had like been through this and was like, would you kill the person that did it? Yes. Yeah. 100%. All of the time. It's fucking like, that's not even a second thought to me.
Will you kill the rapist murderer? I don't know. Let me check my moral compass. Like, what? Come on, man.
Let me flip my double-sided coin and see what the outcome is, right?
But, yeah, so Owen doesn't kill him. Gwen, well, because they say that he kills himself.
He's had multiple suicide attempts before this.
Because that's that bit when they're back in the hub and Owen's like, I didn't kill him. Like, I could have done, but I didn't. And then Gwen goes, no, I did. And then Tosh is like, he would have found a way to, he wanted to die. He would have found a way eventually.
Also, he old. What are you going to do? All you had to do is wait.
Well, this dude would have been at least 60 something. At least.
Yeah, because this is like what? Mid to late 2000s going on. Early not.
60, 70.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Considering I'm going to assume that in that alley scene he's like 20 odd. Or like in his 20s.
Yeah, well,
right?
They say that she's 17, so...
I fucking missed that.
Yeah, they say she was 17.
I'm glad you died, Ed. Yeah. I'm glad you died.
So he has got to be at least 17.
Also, I will say props to Gareth Thomas and who is the other guy?
Because that's the thing, right? Because you see...
Ed Thomas and Christopher Elson, sorry. I don't know. I haven't done any prior research on these two. Maybe they're shitheads in real life. I don't know. I'm hoping that they're not. But playing a character like that, not an easy thing to do.
No.
It's like, whenever you have to play a dickhead like that, it's like, oh my God, he's super famous. He is super duper famous. Let me think of the song. Marlon Brando, right? He plays like Stanley in Streetcar Named Desire, like the 60s version.
Oh my God, what is it with you in Streetcar Named Desire?
I also had to play Stanley.
Superb.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
If you know about what Stanley does in that book,
I don't actually, but good for you.
He doesn't. Ed Morgan.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, so like playing roles like that, I think is really difficult to do because not only are you like you got to represent it. You've got TV producers making sure that everything is done correctly because there is. Yeah. I don't know what the technical name is for it, but even when people are kissing, they have like intimacy specialists and stuff.
Intimacy coordinators and shit.
Yeah, like that kind of thing. But but also your face is like plastered on this act, even though it's dramatized. Like, so it's I don't know. We'll get to the end of it. Ugh.
There's something about Ed. How when you see him when he's young in like the flashback or whatever,
Yeah.
he's scary.
Oh yeah.
He's like a scary dude. He's like, messing with her head. He's being a freak. He's being a horrible little greasy man.
He's armed.
Yeah. And then you see him as this old man and you're like, oh God, you're pathetic. Like you really are like a pathetic old man.
100% that is intentional, right?
Because, there's a moment afterwards where he like turns on Gwen. Because there was like, there's like a second where I'm like, oh, this is just like an old dude. And then he says something to Gwen, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I'm like, oh no, you still suck.
Yeah, there's nothing really redeemable about him, which there shouldn't be.
Yeah,
Helen Raynor, great. I'm looking at our spreadsheet now to see if there's any other
more
episodes
Helen Raynors
by her. She has written one other Torchwood episode.
Which one is it?
Season 2, episode 3, To the Last Man.
Oh,
what are you trying to remember it, or do you know it?
No, I'm trying to remember it because I'm trying to be like, is it a good one?
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, she hasn't done any others.
It's enough. I don't know. It's a pretty good one.
But hey, she also did the next 2 that we have to watch of Doctor Who, so it's fine.
Yep.
A lot of Helen Raynor going on.
It's a Helen Raynor week.
Yep, it is. I could not take Jack's final little speech
to Gwen seriously.
Yeah, and do you know why?
Stupid and I hate it.
No, it's a different reason to just being stupid and hateful.
Oh.
Which is, your prerogative or whatever. Not outside. When they are inside, I just want to make sure that I'm not like actually hallucinating and this did happen and show up in the episode. Yeah, okay, I'm not hallucinating it. There's a little sign behind him.
Mm.
It says coughs and sneezes spread diseases, and I'm like, dude, I can't take you seriously with this thing just hanging out behind you like you're in a school. It's like, wash your hands.
It's just one little like thing as well. Just hang it. It's not even on like a pin board or anything.
Even the sign is minging. Look at the hub. It's rotten. Not a surface clean has been done ever, right?
Apart from on that door.
Even the sign itself is yellowed and minging.
Well, that looks like a vintage thing, right? That looks like it's been there for a while.
The whole hub looks like it's been there for a while, but it wouldn't hurt to have it cleaned, would it? Anyways, I got to the next time and I was like, oh yeah, what's this? And then I wrote, oh God, Cyberwoman.
Yep.
Where they just find a conversion chamber, which is weird to me. Because I'm like, they never can... Were they converting people on Earth? I mean, I guess at Torchwood, Canary Wharf, they were doing it. But I don't remember them ever doing it like...
It's a different kind of looking one as well.
Yeah, it's like a one
it's
at
like
a time.
Like a medical bed sort of thing.
Like a single file.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
One at a time.
What would you rate this episode?
I'd probably give this like a 4.
See, I'm giving it, for me, a 4.5 or 5 as of now. I just think it's written well.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is hitting, other than like a few performances that I'm like, this is sort of hitting every beat kind of right. It's pushing.
This gives you what you want from Torchwood, I think.
It's not pushing Ianto or Tosh yet, still. But I feel like the show is trying to solidify Owen, Gwen, and Jack as like our main trio. I know that the trio turns into Gwen, Jack, and Ianto later, doesn't it? Is like they become like
Journey's
the
End.
Like they become like the main 3. But like right now, it seems like it's Jack, Owen, and Gwen. Then Tosh sort of in there somewhere at the back, and then Ianto. He's there.
Yeah,
he's catering. So right now, I mean, the more I watch the show, my ratings might change because I've never seen it before, so I don't know the standard that I'm holding things to. But right now, super strong. Everything is written.
Oh no, this is a solid episode.
I mean, like, well written, all the subjects well handled, and all the performances, barring some like odd lines here and there, have just been solid. And I'm like, yeah. Also, you got an emotion out of me, and that does give you bonus points because that's difficult to do.
I think the Torchwood gets a bad rap for trying to be like Doctor Who's edgy older brother, and I'm like, the thing is, you can do like edgy stuff, and it can be good.
Torchwood
and I think this is an example of that.
You know how you're always like, you want to dress as the cool older sister?
Yeah.
You want to dress like Torchwood?
Yeah.
Yeah. Any trivia for this? I'm like maybe not, but
I can have I don't have anything prepared, but I can have a look right now.
Oh no, it's fine. You don't have to do that. Anyway, we'll be back next week for some episode of Cyberwoman. Bye.
Bye.